Hello, my friends. I hope you are doing amazing. This is Heather. This is this week's episode of Back to Me. And I am a self care evangelist. But what the heck is self care anyway? Let's talk about it. See you on the inside. Hi, my friends. Welcome. This is the Back to Me podcast, and this is Heather, and I am super excited that you're here. You are going to hear some tips and some tricks and some ideas to help you live your happiest and healthiest self. I call it Back to Me because when you are taking care of yourself, back to me, then you can take better care of others, and we can all make the world a better place. This is Wellness Your Way, and I am super happy that you're here. Hello, my friends. How are you doing? Sorry about that. It is Wednesday. I know I keep shifting the time of this, and pardon me, sorry. I'm wondering and I'm in Eastern time. Is 2 o'clock better? Is 2:30 better? Is 5 o'clock better? I don't know. So when I'm going live, um, it's always nice to virtually see you through your comments. And then I do record this and I post it on my podcast on Google Podcast and Apple Podcast and Anchor Podcast because what my intention is to get it out there in as many ways as it needs to be for people to um, get some ideas really on what's going to work for them and how to make themselves feel better. Sorry about that. Um, I just spent the last, I don't know, it feels like an hour, probably was less than an hour, creating a reel to put on Instagram. I don't know if you've created reels yet. You might be watching them if you're on Instagram, and some people are posting them on Facebook. But it's funny, the little steps that you have to do to create a reel. Of course, I have to cough because why? Because I'm live. It's all good. Hashtag not COVID. It's just probably I was drinking some tea that was too hot. So today, yes, we're here to find out about wellness, right? That's why we're here. So what's the delay? Well, there's no delay. So we're talking self-care, self-care, self-care. And it's a word that just gets tossed around. And yes, you should do more self-care and you should take care of this and you should take care of yourself. And sometimes I feel like the message gets lost because it's just almost overused. Self-care hacks, do this for self-care, and you probably are inundated. I know I am. My inbox is inundated with how to do this, how to do self-care. And it's funny that I'm saying this because I feel like I'm a bit of a self-care not guru necessarily, evangelist perhaps is a better word, because I do think people should take really good care of themselves. Obviously, I mean, all of last week I went on live in my Facebook group called Back to Me. If you haven't joined it yet, why haven't you joined us? Talking about why it's important. And the quote that I really liked most recently was self-care. I'm going to paraphrase it a little bit because it's not in front of me, but self-care is giving the world the best of you instead of the rest of you, right? So you always want, or I feel, I'm not going to put these words into your mouth. I feel like for me, my goal in 2022, it's my official goal for 2022 is to help people, as many people as I can, in whatever way I can. And one of the ways that I can do that most effectively is to make sure that I'm at my best, right? If I'm tired, if I'm cranky, if I'm unhealthy, if God forbid, I'm in the hospital, I can't really help very many people from there, can I? So, which I learned recently. For those of you who've been watching, know that I spent 4 days in the hospital in October with a wee stroke. Yes, I saw a picture of it actually on Friday talking to my neurologist. I saw a picture of my brain. It is such a cool thing to see a picture of your brain, you guys, really. Um, and to see where the stroke was and to talk about the impacts and long and short term impacts. And knowing that I mean, I have come back so quickly from that. And I think because I paid into my insurance policy of taking care of myself and some luck and some genetics and a whole bunch of other things threw in there. But yes, self care, you guys. There's a reason that I talk about it so much. But what is it? What the heck is self care? So, self care, I heard this, I can't even remember when I heard this, but someone once said, self care is doing the things that make you feel like yourself. So, what are those things? I mean, some people, when they hear the word self care, they think, oh, you're going to tell me to exercise more. Oh, you're going to tell me to lose weight. Or, oh, you're going to tell me to sleep more. X, 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 like fill in the blank that you're going to tell me to. And, there are guidelines on what generally helps people be healthier. And um, not all of being healthy involves physical, right? It's not all about keeping your body in shape, although it's all intertwined. So if you're physically healthier, you're mentally healthier. If you're mentally healthier, you'll probably be physically healthier. I mean, we can't separate all these pieces out. We can't say, well, I'm only going to exercise and that's not going to affect anything. Yes, I know we do. Advice at any price. What's our solution for that? I don't know what our solution is for that. We shun advice at any price. So, knowing that if you pick one thing that makes you feel more like you, and I guess part of that is knowing, depending on how far down the road you've gone, what is it like to feel like you again? Um, when we were in the Facebook group last week, I was talking about, trying to remember a time where there was, something that you wanted to achieve or the way you envisioned your life. One of the exercises was, how did you envision, or how do you envision how you want your life? And partly to give you something to move towards, so you know what you want. We always have a really good idea of what we don't want, right? It's like, what do I want though? It's like I have to fill that void of not wanting X. I have to fill it in with what I do want. So when we're thinking about what those things are and where we want to move towards, making sure that those things feel like us. They make us feel like us. At some point, if you can think back to a time, I like to think back, like I have a few times in my life where I specifically remember, for no particular reason, how happy, like it's just all these happy bubbles came up through me. And I was just felt like life was exactly the way I wanted it to be. And it was going really well. And I wasn't doing anything particular. One of the episodes that I remember, I was walking through a shopping mall. I don't even remember if I was actually shopping or if I was just walking through the shopping mall. And when I was walking through the shopping mall, I was just suddenly so filled with happiness. And I used that moment, like I used the feeling of that moment to anchor in. That's how I want to feel. I mean, obviously, I can't feel that way all the time because life is life. Um, so I'm going to come to this comment in a second that I see just after I finish this story. So, um, when I'm trying to think about what I want my life to look like or what will bring me back to how I want to be, make me feel like my most authentic self. Because that day I just felt like I am 100% me, and I'm so happy to be me, and my me, like, yes, this is called back to me, but not in a selfish way. Back to me in a way that by being selfish for me, then I can be that better person out there. But I anchor that feeling in, and that was probably, it could have been 25 years ago. I was only 5. No, I'm kidding. It was quite a number of years ago, and I but I still remember so clearly that feeling, and I go to that feeling, and I put up against it, um, "Will this help me get to this feeling? Okay, then I'll add it in." So, my psychiatrist used to say this whenever he asked a participant for advice. Oh, yes, it is true. Only you know what you need to do, and only you know, which is the whole premise of the back to me, right? My back the s so, um, if you haven't looked it up yet, back to me is my 6 weeks of coming together as a group, but, only 10 of us. There's only gonna be 10 of us coming together as a group to figure out what it is. Only you know what you need to do, but sometimes it's like you need to bounce the ideas off, you need to try it out, and I find that the coming together as a group, yeah, I've been in masterminds, I've been in brainstorming sessions, so many more ideas come out of my brain when I'm in that kind of group format, and you're harnessing the power of the group brain. When you were so I experienced that feeling when walking my dog off leash. Yes, yes, right? And dogs are so happy. Dogs have to be the happiest little beings on the planet. You know, they're like, "We're going for a walk? Okay. We're gonna take a nap? Okay. We're gonna eat? Okay." Like, they're just so happy whatever moment they're in. They're pretty much I don't it's very rare, except when you're leaving. I've seen a dog make a sad face when I was leaving. It was like, "What, you're leaving?" But then probably as soon as I'm gone, they're happy again because they're not caught up in the she left, she left. They're just caught up in the what's next? What's next? And yet, if you have those feelings in your life, grab onto them and store them and everything that you choose. And you don't have to be right. You know, I've tried out things where I'm like, "Oh, this will make me feel good," and I've done it, and I'm going, "Oh, that was the wrong thing." It seemed like a good idea at the time. How many times have you said that in your life? It seemed like a good idea at the time. So my advice is try it, see if it works, and if you start saying it seemed like a good idea at the time, take it off of your self-care plan. Replace it with something else, because there is a buffet of things in life. The thing that we don't lack is an abundance of ideas and options and so many ways that we can find to find joy. So part of me in helping people and taking care of myself is finding joy, right? I want to find joy and happiness in everything that I do. I have discovered that this thing that I do makes me really happy. And if I can let that out into the world, I just think it's a superpower. I think being happy and joyful in what you do is a superpower, and it's a blessing, and I obviously am never gonna stop doing it. I'll keep evolving. I won't be the same tomorrow as I was today. What's my latest hashtag is better than yesterday. I started that one after my stroke because I just wanted to be a little bit better every day at what lit me up and what made me feel good. So today, just have a little think. Have a little thought. What what feeling can you find in your past that felt like the most authentic version and happy version of you? And what can you do more of? What can you do more of? Forget the titles, the acronym we give it, the self-care, the acronym's the wrong word. I know, I'm sorry. The word that we give it, forget this, tagline of self-care. What just makes you feel good and makes you feel good for more than 5 minutes? Or, I mean, the longer you can sustain it, the better. Sure, a glass of wine will feel great in the moment, but sometimes a headache the next day makes you go, maybe not next time, right? So whatever you want is your self-care. Make it something that just keeps lifting you upwards versus little bumps in the road. I promised to keep these short, but today I was pretty chatty. So, my friends, whatever you choose to do, make it about you. If you haven't checked out the Back to Me Facebook page, because this is going out into a couple different locations, if you haven't checked the Back to Me Facebook page, go check it out. There's some really awesome people there. And if you haven't checked out the Back to Me program, we start the Back to Me, the self-care. We're going to spend 6 weeks creating your personalized version of what you want your year to look like to be your best self. We start in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days. 6 days we start, and there's still room for a few more people. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, send me a message. Let's chat. This is Heather, Prosperity Flow Coaching, the Back to Me podcast. I take care, and I will see you next week, my friends. Hi, my friend. Thanks so much for listening to this entire podcast. If you found it useful and you're like me and you like helping others, please feel free to share this. Give it a like, give it a comment. If you found something useful in it, there's a chance that someone else will find something useful as well. Also, if you have any questions at all, I can absolutely help, and I would love to help. You can email me at heather@prosperityflowcoaching.com. If you want more of this awesome content, you can follow me on Instagram, Heather Stewart Coaching. You can follow me on Facebook, Prosperity Flow Coaching. And I have a personal request. I want to help as many people as I can with these podcasts. And if you could give me a review, hopefully a good one, if you could share, if you could send this out into the world, I would truly appreciate it. I hope you have an amazing day, and I hope that you find your way to wellness by getting back to me. Take care, my friend.